I want to, hold on. I'm going to put this one. Is that going to work? That work? That'll work. I have to go on Sky's obituary, his legacy site, and put a summer solstice. I don't know why I keep wanting to say winter solstice. Winter solstice and summer solstice were such a big thing for him. I repotted some flowers, some plants today, and I'll show you in a minute what I did. But anything to do with playing in the dirt, gardening, anything was his thing. And I loved having plants. Oh, my eye. I loved having plants in the house. The deck is doing well enough. I'll show you in a minute what I had to do. We're dripping. Look at this. The air conditioning's on. Central air is on. It said it's 78, but it's just what's needed right now. That's really good. I was on a couple of the past videos yesterday. I added some comments to some comments. I got my journal. This poor thing. I got this, I think it was at Five Below. Determination is the beginning of success. And I've torn so many pages out of this. It's so skinny now. Well, there's so much stuff. This calendar part here was from 2024. I have April 9th was 6 weeks from when Sky passed. The 23rd of April was 8 weeks. The 9th of July last year was 18 weeks. And September 3rd was 27 weeks. That stuff never goes away. Okay, I wrote down some new things. Lynn, thank you for giving me your name. And I won't say that I'm jealous, but I'm so envious that you have gone on so many cruises. And when I say that, I mean that I'm so happy for you that you got a chance to do that and see the world. Like, holy moly, that's really cool. Me and my drippy eye. Welcome to older age, right, ladies? I hope you get to go on a few more cruises. So thank you for giving me your name. So what I wrote down here was your birthday was the 18th. So today's the 21st. That was just a couple of days ago. And I think, let's see. Did I put up a video on the 18th? Right? June 18th, right? Because if I did, that was on your birthday. So happy belated. Let me know how you celebrated, what you did for your birthday. And I hope I wrote all these down right. I took screenshots. Jolene, I put your birthday down. I was right when I said I'm pretty sure it was July the 2nd, but I just couldn't remember the name and I couldn't find you in the comments. Dawn's got a birthday coming up in a week. Let's see, a week from today, right? Pam, you're a July baby? There's a couple for July. That's pretty cool. And Carol, happy birthday today. Today is Carol's birthday. I wrote down June 21st, put a little star here. So if you guys in the comments would say happy birthday to Carol, I would appreciate it. I hope you have a great one. Let me know what you do today. And I think I'm caught up. But I love the fact that I have like 2 pages. Lisa, there's a Lisa, not the Lisa from May 29th, but there's another Lisa that I asked multiple times for your birthday, and I guess you just don't want to share it, and that's fine, but I want you to know that I'm not forgetting you. But I did ask many times. Did I forget anything? I don't think so. My friend Joanne, I'm friends with her on Facebook, so I'm going to say this because she put it on Facebook. She recently had surgery. I'm not going to say what kind. She's doing well, and so Joanne keep getting better and better and better. She had an amazing post the other day. She has been through stuff just like we all have, and she's in a really good place in her life, so I'm thrilled for her. Thrilled. I had an egg sandwich for breakfast with mustard and butter, and it wants to just, you eat, and then it goes down, and then it just doesn't stay where it's supposed to. Someone once said that burping is not bad manners, it's just good food. I never forgot that. I filled up my Pepsid, which is famotidine. It looks like this. There's actually 2 different companies. So when I get it from one company, it looks like this. Look at the difference. And then I get it from another company, and then it looks like that. Look at the difference. We got a round one, we got a square one. So I take this for GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease disorder. So I filled up my little pill case that I keep in my pocketbook, and I keep my pocketbook on my chair. The next 5 days we're going to be scorching most of the United States from half over. We're going to be scorching the high 90s. It's not going to be safe out. So thankfully we have the treadmill yesterday, even though yesterday was such an off day, like the whole week I was so off. Today so far, knock wood, so far I actually feel almost normal. Like me and my weird self. Like I used witch hazel this morning for the burning. I read, I did more research. I'm taking vitamin C in the evening with a meal, with a snack. Before bed, I take vitamin C. I started researching witch hazel and aloe for even the sensitive areas. As long as there's no alcohol in the witch hazel, you should be good to go. For irritation, for all that kind of thing that I was talking about. So I have witch hazel, so I tried that this morning. I'm going to try it throughout the day. I'm going to just hope that that helps. Right now I feel okay enough. But I walked on the treadmill last evening, 35 minutes. Didn't plan on 35 minutes. I burned 140 calories. It was a 2.2 speed, but I'm okay at a 2.2 speed. At almost 66 years old, and wanting to get on there and really get moving, get my body moving, get my heart rate, get my heart going, and having it be a decent workout, I'm okay at 2.2. Today I'll do 2.3. I've done 2.2 most days. But I did 5 minutes, and then I'm like, let me get to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get to 15 minutes, and I got to 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I hit the 30-minute mark, and I had my earbuds in. And I listened to music. So one of my favorite songs came on right at 30 minutes. The Beach Boys, Kokomo by the Beach Boys. Then I had to stay on another 3 minutes to listen to Kokomo. And when that song went off, then Taylor Swift came on with Look What You Made Me Do. And when that video came out, where she came up out of the ground, and when that video came out, I must have watched that video 20 times in a row on my computer on a bigger screen. I was just blown away by that video. So I have that song on my playlist, and then that came on. That took me to 35 minutes. So I did 35 minutes. I walked 1.2 miles at 2.2 speed and burned 140 calories. I'm okay with that. I'm so okay with that. I'm having an early coffee. It's 12:45. I want to show you a couple things. But I slept last night from like around 10. We were watching Fear Factor. We made ice cream cones last night. The local store is having Turkey Hill ice cream on sale for $1.99 a gallon. And the sale ended yesterday. And was it yesterday that we went to the store? Yeah, I spent $61. And some of that was I got 2.5 gallons of ice cream on sale. I got butter pecan, and I got chocolate. Okay, look, George picked something. He picked, it's like it has pieces of Oreo in it, but I had coffee ice cream opened. So I had coffee, ice cream cone, the Breyers, this kind. And George picked double dunker. He had that. So he had that in an ice cream cone. We were watching Fear Factor. So I slept from 10 until like 4:30. I want to show you what I had to do with my plants. A couple of them. And then I went to the bathroom and I came back to bed and fell back to sleep until almost 7, which is crazy for me. The basement is so cold. Bare feet. I went outside earlier because 3 of my flowers were real straggly. They were just looking rough. I couldn't take it. So I was just going to ditch them. But they had some buds on them and stuff. So George says, why don't we take them out back and plant them out back? Here's our central air unit that will need to be replaced next year. It's been serviced and filled and like everything it needs. And the guy that does the work here, he said it should be good for this whole season. So we just turned it on. It's like yesterday, I think was the first day we put central air on. Had it on for just a little while. And so I want to show you. So I put the 3 plants here, along here. And I'm a firm believer in grounding. How far can I go? How far? Barefoot. I grew up in Chester County, Pennsylvania. I think most of us as kids, shoes were not a thing once it got warm. And as an adult, at almost 66, once it's warm, I don't do shoes unless I have to. Oh, look at this. Look at this mess. Did I get it? That'll be a George thing. Here's the painting he's working on. It has to dry before he can do the next coat. And this one is almost ready for the stretcher bar. I took that picture down the shore last October, and It's almost ready for the stretcher bar. He has the stretcher bar here, all clamped. He showed you guys that whole procedure. So that one will get hung upstairs. That one he's working on, which is this picture here. So he does it in layers. Isn't that pretty cool? Look at all this. Look at his, that's just some of the stuff. He's got a board ready there. He's got one ready there. He puts gesso on it, stuff called gesso. Okay, so planted those 3 flowers out there because he's like, well, let's give him a second chance. I'm like, yeah, okay. Whew. Actually feels cold down there. I have leggings on. I should put shorts on, maybe for when I walk. I got to get him to put that lock on. So we're leaving the basement door open because it is so cool and the cool air is coming up the first floor. So I have to ask your opinion. You guys give me your opinion too. I told you we couldn't put the mural up on the wall. There's his Father's Day balloons are still up. It's been a week. So because this, it looks like it's wallpaper and they painted wallpaper. So the mural won't stick. So we need some ideas for that wall. I picked a couple things from Amazon. I said, like, how about a big, like a macrame, because you know me with the odd stuff. Big macrame wall hanging in the center, and then like smaller paintings around the outside is what I was thinking. Or maybe one wall with no paintings and just fun things. I don't know. I got to get some pillows too. We need pillows for that couch. So, do I even need to go out? I'll go out. Need WD-40 that, don't we? Okay. Scoping out the area. So this plant here, I'm tilting my phone, so I put it down there for right now because it needed a little more sun. So we can put him back now where he belongs. Okay. All right. So these are Dusty Millers. These are called Dusty Millers. I had them in the pot with these guys. Now, keep in mind we had days of rain. We had a lot of rain. And then now we have a lot of heat. So all the pots have holes for drainage. I've researched out full sun, partial sun, all that stuff. Dusty Millers are supposed to do really well in full sun. So I had those Dusty Millers in with these guys, and through the night, early in the morning, they're real perky and they look like this, like these guys, right? And then after a while, they start to look like this again, like there. So took them out of that pot with those plants there, the orange, gave them each their own pot because these were the ones that had the scraggly flowers in. Gave them each their own pot, fresh soil, whole 9 yards. The roots look decent. So, oh wow, look at the size of that bird. Holy, did you guys catch that bird? I don't know if I caught that bird on camera. My goodness, that bird is looking for, let me see if I can get him. That bird is looking for a squirrel or a chipmunk or a bunny, for sure. So these guys are so cool. I don't know if I can pick this up. Look at the vines. The vines are just, yeah, these things have great vines. Oh, and I repotted the palm. Took it out, broke the roots apart, fresh soil, cut back everything that looked really crappy. I'm not great with palms. They never seem to do really great. But anyway, I put this guy with Hote, gave him a little vine there on the shoulder for Sky. I miss Sky so much. I miss Sky, I really do. If you're new here, Sky was my late partner. He's my late partner. He's in his rebirth. He's doing something in another world. He is a Zen Buddhist, and in the Zen world, there's rebirth. You don't die. No such thing as death, because there's really no such thing as us or nothing. We're really kind of nothing. We're just a whole bunch of cells and energy. So anyway, so that's what I was doing this morning. George was helping me, and everything else is doing okay. I got some philodendron. You can't kill philodendron, I don't think. I moved all my spices over here because I had them on the back of the stove, and each time I would go to the store, I would get a different spice. So now look, I got all kinds of cool. This is Old Bay. He gets shrimp, and so we pop it on there. And there's my daddy. I told George he's got to get a picture of his mom and dad out so I could put it on the side of the fridge. So that's what I've been up to. So for my birthday girl, Carol, let me know what you're doing today. When we don't feel well, and then we have a day where we feel like almost normal, like okay, like almost good, it's like, it's scary because it's like, oh, is that going to last? How long am I going to feel decent before I feel crappy again? So I'm hoping it stays for a while. I would love to be able to tolerate some sun, get a little sun on my shoulders, a little tan, maybe go down to CVS. I have 2 coupons. I have a 40% off anything as long as it's the full price, and a 25% off anything as long as it's the full price. So I don't have any SPF, so I should pick something like that up. And George wants to get some aloe vera product, just so that we have it to kind of add to our arsenal of, you're old and you might burn yourself. So we might go down to CVS. I don't know. I got to get on the treadmill. Got to get at least 20 minutes in while I'm feeling almost normal. Yesterday I swept the floors and mopped the floors with the Swiffer. So I got that done. What else? I put a new game on my phone. I like the matching games where they have the rows of words and then you have to put them together, what matches. So him and I do that. We both love that kind of thing. It's good for the brain too, right? If you haven't watched the movie Lucky yet, please watch the movie Lucky. Just watch it once. I want to say I can't believe it's June 21st. I don't know what happened to spring. I feel like in Pennsylvania, I'm in Pennsylvania. I have said before, if you look at the state of Pennsylvania, I'm down in the corner, in the Philadelphia corner. I'm not in Philly, but I'm in that part of the state. My birth father, that I found out about in 2018, he was born up in the top corner, top left, up in like the Oil City, Erie, up there. He was born up in that area, and then over time drifted down into what would be our area. So I don't know where spring went. It felt like in Pennsylvania we didn't have a spring. We had winter, and we had like 3 days that were decent. There was a little sun, nice temperature, and then summer. So my hope is that summer stretches the rest of June, July, August, all of September into October, so that I can enjoy some warmth. Now, the heat, there is a picnic area that we can go to that's huge, that has both shady areas and sunny areas. So maybe one day next week we'll go down to Subway and grab some sandwiches and bring something cold to drink, like an Arizona tea, and go over there for a picnic, take a blanket, and spend some time out in the sun, get some sun, then move into the shade and spend some time in the shade, and then go back into the sun for a couple minutes. I'm Irish, I'm so Irish, so I'm so fair-skinned, but I tan super fast, super fast. I'm not big on the self-tanners. They just don't seem to work for me. They're streaky, and I can never, ever do a self-tanner evenly. You get the streak, you get the weird orange look down your leg, you know. I can't do any of that. So I'm a huge TikTok person. I love going over to TikTok. I'm finding TikTok now is like a big sales shop, and they're just showing over and over again either the tape-in hair extensions or the bead ones, where you just like take this little bit of hair and then put the bead and the hair extension, and you put that up. Now, that all sounds okay, but the problem with me is that when I sleep, I turn and turn and turn and turn and turn. And so my hair is all over the place. And I don't know what that would do with extensions. Now, I could get like a sleep bonnet and just, you know, do one of these numbers, maybe to keep everything in place, but I don't want to invest money in something like that. We were just looking, last night I was looking at the hotel that we stayed in down at the shore. This morning he was looking at the prices, and it's like, we'd love to go. We'd love to go. But you've got to pay for a tank of gas. It'll be a tank of gas total with the Corolla down and back. So I'm going to look at $50 there, okay? And then we've got to have food for, let's say we go down for 3 days. They do these specials. If you book for 4 nights, you get like a special rate. They have a $99 a night on September 1 special rate. So it would be like $300 and some dollars if you stay 3 nights, because kids are going back to school and, you know, all that stuff. And but you know, till you add everything all up, and with the fact that we're waiting on an answer about funding for the roof, which needs to get replaced. And so we have to put 50% down when we book the guys to fix the roof, replace the roof. You have to put 50% down. So when you look at what the important things are first. And with just moving in here in February, knowing that that needs to get done, and then a couple other big things like the heater and the air conditioning next year, you look differently at how you spend your days. And the older that I get, the more it's like, you know, let's make an ice cream cone and put a movie on or something like that. Or I get on the treadmill or watch videos, something, you know. There's a couple local places. There's some exotic flower shops that are local. There's a bowling alley that's local to here, but I have Yelp on my phone. If you don't have Yelp, Y-E-L-P, put Yelp on your phone. And then if you want to go somewhere, see if anybody's put reviews about the place. Some of the reviews are really old, but some people do review, you know, frequently. And so the local bowling alley, the reviews on that are awful. That bowling alley's been there forever, and the reviews are not great, and the price is outrageous. The price to go horseback riding is outrageous. Like, it makes no sense when you have a car payment due, when you have a cell phone bill due. Come September, I need to re-up my car insurance. So George gave me his VIN number for his car. I'm going to give this lady from Erie, I think it's Erie I'll be calling. That's who my salesman, my car salesman, he has this one particular woman, and he gave me her name and number. And then she actually sent me a notice. So I'm going to call her on Monday and find out about rates. And then I also need to call Aetna, because I have to find out if, because I want to call my psychiatrist on Monday, call the office and ask if I can be switched back over to lorazepam, which is Ativan. But I need to find out from Aetna whether they cover 120 quantity or whether they cover 90 quantity, because there's always changes, you know. And so I need to call it. Somebody should be there on a Saturday. They have a prescription drug line number. I have my card. I have my little card. So I have to do that. I don't like to do that. I have to time that just right. But that's something that I need to do. And I think that's it. So I don't know, besides walking, maybe I'll work a little bit on my gem art, start that next color. I might do one of these, and then I'll be done for the day. So I hear the man. Honey, I'm filming, but I couldn't get the top lock on the back door, the basement door. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get that all the way closed.
Okay, I'll film it.
I showed the flowers, so I figured if you could just, I know you have to jiggle it.
You have to push the door in.
Yeah, I didn't have a free hand.
Okay.
Okay. You have to push the door in. Now I know. Him and I are going to do a video. We're going to do just a questions and answer kind of thing. But let me know what you think about that wall. Give me some opinions. And where's the cheapest place to buy pillows or pillow covers? Where would you go if you were going to buy pillows or pillow covers? There's no great what do you call those things? Thrift shops. There's no great thrift shops around here. The couple thrift shops we have, there's like, no. Walmart has different pillows for $5 a piece. Not exactly what I would want. I could check on Amazon, I could check on Temu. There's 3 pillows on the couch that I could put covers on. But a lot of that's going to depend on what we're going to do with the wall, which we still haven't come to a conclusion as to what's going to happen with that wall. So I don't know. So I'm going to go. Let me know, for those that have had birthdays and I wasn't here on that day, what you did. Lynn, definitely let me know what you did. For everybody who's in Carol, let me know what you're doing today. A lot of you folks mentioned that you've had a loss, you know, either just recently or years ago, your mom, your partner. I know what that feels like. I wish I could say something that was going to make it feel better, but honestly, we all have to deal with that kind of loss in our own way. I lost my mom, my dad, my oldest brother, then my oldest sister, then my next 2 brothers, 2 brother-in-laws. My niece was killed in a car accident a few years back. And then, of course, Sky passing away. My husband, George, his brother passed away a year ago in May. So, like, there's been so much loss. And then my brother-in-law, so my sister's husband passed away 2 years ago. My little sister, her husband passed away in December. I mentioned this. So, like, the three of us girls have all lost our partners within a 2-year span. Within that a 2-year window, we have all lost our partners. So I don't know how my sisters are doing, but I know for me, there's always some little something that crops up, like summer solstice, which was such a big deal for Sky. So being able to be outside and being in bare feet and playing in the dirt and repotting the plants, that's a big deal. And one of the things that really makes things okay here is that George and I talk openly and a lot about his brother who passed on, and Sky. So Sky's, all of the tools that I saved that were Sky's, and he had some stuff. There were things that he had back from his archaeology days. He was an archaeologist back in the day. So some of those I got rid of because they just would not be used here at this time. But he's got a bunch of bonsai tools, and then he had just the, the regular stuff, and he has this tape measure. I showed you guys the tape measure. Like, that big tape measure was his pride and joy. He worked at Lowe's in the electrical department, and he'd have to measure out wire and stuff for customers, and a standard tape measure just didn't do it. So he came in one day with one of the mega tape measures, and he was not a big man, but he had always had it hooked on the side of his pants. So I definitely saved that tape measure, and now George uses it. Whenever he's going to measure something, he's got the tape measure. And some of the other tools, we brought Sky's toolbox, and so there's always something that George can dig into and use that I know Sky would have loved to know that George is using the tools. Like, that's how Sky is and it still is in his next life. So I'm going to go fill some things in the comments, tell Carol happy birthday, and everybody else that if I missed you on that day, I'm sorry. This week was really crummy for me. I'm hoping I'm on a upward trend because today so far has been really good. So I'm definitely hopeful. Stay cool if you're in the part of the country where we're getting hit with this heat wave. Stay cool, stay indoors if you have to. Get the fans, the ice, the cold drinks, the air conditioner, whatever it is you need to do it. Take care of yourselves. Put a hat on your head, whatever you need to do. And I'll talk to everyone soon.